Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Shino, and we're back in our Modded to the Max world. Glad you could be with me. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. So between episodes, it's been a long time, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I've been here. I'm back. And nothing been going on. I wanted to do some things, and one of the things I want to do is upgrade this version of Vintage Story to 1.16.4, which I've now done. So we are running on 1.16.4, and I added a bunch of new mods in, so let's take a look at them. Okay, let's go down through the mod list of what we're going to be running on. So we have Alchemy and Angel Belt. Those are two from the previous versions. And then Campaign Cartographer, added that in from Apache. Auto Rotator, which puts in a rotor into the game that is kind of like creative mode, but it takes a lot to build, so it's not cheaty. Axle and blocks, we still got Backpack Pack Plus, better crates, bricklayers, buggies, random changes, capture animals, carryable log with resin, carry capacity, expanded foods. We added that one in. That's what we're going to be working on in this episode, getting started on that. Extra chest, fancy sky, foundry from Golden Combs. Really wanted to get the whole version updated because I was having some problem with my with the honeypots going on top of the hives. So this version of it actually fixes that, so we can take care of that. More crops has been added in for Minigan. This kind of is a companion to expanded food, so it's going to help us. But since it does deal with chunk world gen, as well, so is Ores of Plenty mod from Flexible Games. Since those two both affect world gen, that's one of the reasons why we didn't want to expand too far out from our home base in the beginning. Player Corpse, Preservation mod, Primitive Skills, Prospector Info, Hakobi-te, which has the new version of Hakobi-te 1.7.5. That's going to give us access to the cables. Stackables, Stone Quarry, Survival Handbook, Temporal Tinker, Useful Scraps, Vise, and then Workbench Expansion. You'll see that X Skills is no longer in here. I just figured we're just going to drop it out, leave it out of there. A lot of people are using it, no problems. I'm not one of them. So, all right. So we got through a little bit of stuff. I had a little bit of a recording problem, so this may seem a little choppy, but I had recorded part of this. Some of that footage was usable, some of it wasn't. The part that I was not able to use is where I ended up making the part that was usable is when I made this and this, but the rest of this was not usable. But we did get the saucepan made. We did get the mixing bowl made. We got the rolling pin made, bottles, and I just looked at my inventory, and the meat racks. That's the other thing that we got done. And I'm wondering, those can go, yeah, right, like that. Cool. Okay, so I mean, that's what we got done. The screw press is also ready to go. We're going to be using that a little bit in this one. But what we want to do now is we're going to take a look at the guide. We've already got Cooking 101, the basics done. The bottles, the meat rack, mixing bowl, saucepan, the cauldron, the screw press. I did not make any spiles. We may end up doing that still, but I did make the rolling pin. And then you've got like all your basic food items. And this is where you can pickle the eggs. You can boil them. You can make breadcrumbs. You can dry the berries. You can make hardtack. A lot of the really basic nutritional stuff. But you do have the option of being able to make salt. So you still 5 liters of water or 2 liters of brine in a barrel to make a bit of salt. You can use that. I don't know if you can use it for preservation. We'll find out because we're going to be trying it. And you can also boil 4 liters of water to reduce it into salt. So we got a couple of things there. The vinegar is something else that we're going to be able to do. This is going to take a while to do. We're going to definitely get all this kind of stuff set up. And then the different veggies that we're going to be getting into. So I'm kind of excited about that. But one of the first things I wanted to do is let's talk about making some of the bread items. Now, we're used to making normal bread in a Vintage Story where we take the water, we take the flour, and we get our dough from it. And we know that, we cook this, we get a little bit of nutritional value. It's not great, but we get some nutritional value off of it. The flour doesn't last, the flour will last a long time. The dough doesn't. You got to kind of use it up pretty quick. And bread has kind of a medium life expectancy on it. We're going to take a look, though. We're going to spruce it up just a little bit. Oops, didn't mean to close that out. We're going to spruce it up just a little bit. We're going to make berry bread. So let's start off with that one. So a ball of dough, and then 1 fruit or dried fruit in up to 5 slots. So all of the bread items get made in the mixing bowl, and this, when you click on it, it opens up an interface. So we're going to put that there, and then we can put like that, like that, like that. And the more we put in there, of course, we're going to increase the nutritional value of it. I'm going to go ahead and put all, see, we're going to all 6 in there. And I don't know if I want to do all, I don't want to use up all my berries. I think we get by with a good chunk of them here. Save some of them. Let's do it like that. So we'll do 5. Okay. And then we're going to right click on it. And this is something that can be automated as well. We may have to look into that, but this is definitely something you can automate. So we're just going to right click and hold on that. And it's just like using the quern. It's going to go ahead and make our berry dough. And like that, we've got our berry dough. Cool. Okay. And now this is going to bake just like what we normally would with any of the other breads that we make. And again, if you go in and you're looking at a recipe, and it'll tell you bake, cook, or use as a pie crust. A pie crust? That might be good. So let's get this preheated up. Not heat. Here we go. Why is it not going in there? I had to break the oven and put it back, so something going on there. No biggie. Let's get this thing lit up and get it up to temperature, and we'll make our bread. All right, now that it's warmed up, we just put them in there just as we normally would. And bread's done. Oh, got one more in there to put in there. And now we have our bread dough. There we go. And we can see 160, when eating 160 saturation, and then extra nutrients 450 fruit saturation. So 160 for grain and then 450 for the fruit each time we take it. So let's pop this open. So we're at 1875. So that'll fill us up there. Grain. So one of these should, there we go, fill us up pretty good. Nice. And then we'll have to figure out how long that will last. We'll put a couple here on the shelf. And it says fresh for 70.7 days. Oh, get that one out of there. And if we take a look at it inside the chest, 71.2 days. So not too much difference there. Cool. We got some bread. Neat. And I do like that we can store bread now on the shelves. That's pretty cool. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to work on the spiles, and this is what we're going to use for getting the sap out of trees. Let's take a look at this down here at the bottom. Not that far down. There we go. You put this into a tree, place a bucket or saucepan beneath it to collect the sap from the tree during certain times of the year. Fresh resin can be collected in March through November. Maple sap, January, February, and March. And birch sap, April, May, and June. Looking at the calendar, we are in June. So we've got some birch out there. We're going to give it a shot and see. I think I made him out there hammer and see if we can get any of the sap out. So let's give this a shot. And normally I'll take a look and see if I need 2 of these or not. So I can make 4. Yeah, that'll probably take a second one, won't it? Okay. All right, so if I get this heated back up, I'm going to start moving this one around. All right, save yourself a little bit of trouble on that one. Either make the mold for this, or make that out of a plate to begin with. That's a little bit of a tedious one. And we need to make some buckets. How are we doing? I've harvested up quite a bit of flax between, so we're doing a little better there. I thought I had some more logs someplace. Nope. Okay. We do now. Oh, they're in my inventory. Oh. Let's get that. Get 1 bucket. 2 buckets. And let's make a 3rd one if we can. Go, go, go. Might as well make 4 buckets total because we've got 4 spiles. There we go. Perfect. And let's put this back. Now we have some, I don't think our maple trees are up yet. That's pine. This is birch. We'll definitely want to get some more of those in, but let's go ahead and put that in right there. There, right there, right there, like that. And then set it on the ground. There, 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 and there. All right, well, let's let that sit and we'll see what we get from it. So this is not like a quick process. I know this is going to take some time to go, and hopefully I've got that set up right. Let's go back into it just to make sure. Yep, put a bucket beneath it to collect it. So, all right, we'll see how long that takes. All right, it's next morning. Let's check it out. See what's going on. Oh, yeah, look there. 0.06 liters of birch sap. Yeah, yeah. So not a whole lot. But I could see how we could set this up and make it effective. Yeah. Wonder if we can do the same thing with pine resin. So I did see them say something about resin was... let's go back down here and look. Fresh resin can be collected in March through November. Okay. Give me... Can I take that back out? You got to break it, I'm sure. Yeah. Give me that. And I want to test... Well, all these have... Give me that. Let's try this. Sure it's all in there. Okay. All right, we'll come back and check on that here in just a little bit. That's interesting. I wonder if we can... We may have found us a way to get us a big resin farm going. Okay. Next thing I want to work on. All right, so now let's also take a look a little bit at some of the other things that we can do. Now, we can use the saucepan for making like bone broth, which we need for gelatin and all those. We're going to get into those also. One of the things I want to work on now is I just going to kind of start on the fruit press, and we'll start getting that stuff done. So what we do here, just like in the normal, is we're going to put in and that. And if you look at the tooltip on top, you'll see where it says mash produces 7.8, 9.06, 10 liters of juice. That's where we're going to stop at right there. We'll just give that a compression. Hold the right mouse button. And then you'll start seeing it's going to squeeze out all of that, put it down into the bucket. Okay? And there you go. Once the bucket's full, you can pull it out, pour it in. Go. Yep, it is showing empty. Okay. Put the bucket back underneath. Once we release this, we can get out the dry cranberry mash, and then we'll just do this again. There we go. And with these juices, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with these. Let's go down here where it says juicing. What we're doing right now is the fruit juice. We can add this into meals. We can just drink it as it is. We get 120 fruit, plus also 1 HP of healing. If you put it into a meal and bake it, you get 180 on the fruit, and then 1.5 HP. So you can basically turn a lot of your meals where you'd normally have like maybe a water portion. I believe you can put in this fruit juice instead, and you'll end up getting a little bit of healing off of it as well. If you put all the different berries in there together, you can make a mixed fruit juice, which is twice as effective. So basically, you put it in a meal, then it will heal for 3 HP when taken. Okay. That's done. Put that in there. And then the dry cranberry mash, what can you do with it? This becomes a good animal feed. I can't remember what all animals will eat it. I know the pigs will, because in my single player world, I like feeding it to the pigs. So if we do E and Shift H, it says clearly pressed fruit, not too appetizing looking, but some animals might still eat this. Like I said, I know the pigs do. I haven't tried anybody else to see if they'll eat it, but I know that they will. All right. All right, next thing I want to try is there is actually a use for seaweed. That is something that, in the base game we really don't have any use for it, but in here we can actually use that seaweed. So let's go ahead and gather us up some. Look at that, we still have ice out here. That's funny. Where did I have some at? I know there's some not too far away. There's a bunch. Here we go. And I want to see if I break the bottom, does it all? It sure does. Cool. Okay. Let's get us a good healthy amount of it here. Okay, I think that'll be a pretty good amount. Let's take a look. Nothing yet. All right, we'll keep watching it. All right, so with the seaweed, let's take a look at it again. When ground turns into mashed seaweed, and we can do both. So we're going to run this through. I'm going to test it. I'm going to see. Can we run it through the macerator? Oh, we can. That's beautiful. We're almost out of energy here. And we ran out of power. That's okay. That's a good amount. All right, so what can we do with this? So we can use the shape into sheets. So we put it in like that, and we get seaweed sheets. And then if we go back into here, we can bake it. Let's see, does it have to be in the oven? I think this one does have to be in the oven. All right. May have to move the oven out there. All right, we got our oven heated up. Looks like only 4 at a time. Let's see what the temperature is that it cooks up to. There we go. So now we have 4 sheets of dried seaweed. And those 4 sheets of dry seaweed, we can then use those for making sushi if we wanted to. Neat. I'm going to finish cooking the rest of these up. Okay, so I wanted to see how far you could actually get with one oven heating to see exactly how much you could get. It's actually going pretty good. I think I may be able to get an entire stack of 64 with just one heating of the oven, because I don't think the temperature is very high for it to have to dry it out. But I have noticed that the colder the oven gets, the longer it seems to take. And maybe that's just my own mind playing tricks on me, because I've been sitting here for such a long time, just keeping this thing full. But you can see, I mean, I went and got all the rest of the seaweed that I had, and I've already got 44 done. And the temperature of the oven is still at 115 degrees. So I think I could probably get the rest of this done. I don't think I will, but I just wanted to kind of to step in just to show that you can actually get quite a bit out of one oven. I think the next thing we're going to do, we need to get some red meat, because we're going to make some sausage. There we go. Bully, bully, bully. There we go. And, of course, I don't have a knife with me. Of course. Let's see if I can find some flint real quick. Alright, so we got us a knife. Let's get this thing butchered up. Oh, yeah. Good, good, good. Alright, let's head back to the house. On our way back, let's take a look. See, I've got the comb set up the proper way now. So we've got the honey pot sitting right up on top of the hive. Going pretty good. Haven't have a harvest on any of these yet, but that should be coming up here pretty quick. Okay, now that we've got the red meat, we're going to need to, and you can do this several ways. I guess we could use the rolling pin if we wanted to. But we need to mash the meat down. Basically what we're going to have to end up doing here. So let's grab that rolling pin. And I think we can do it right here. Yep, like that. So smashed red meat. And then you take the smashed red meat, put it in your inventory with a knife, and that's how you get your red meat nuggets, or any meat nugget, whichever one you're going for. Okay, now that we've got the handful of meat nuggets, now we need the animal fat or lard. Lard is probably something we're going to end up making and keeping on hand, but for right now we're just going to use just the animal fat. So we're going to take this, and we're going to put our meat nugget in the mixing bowl. We're going to put our lump of fat in there. Oh, I think I got to put more than that in there, don't we? There it goes. Now it's making the raw red meat. It just didn't want to register up there. So, there we go. Now we've got our sausage. And now, if we put this on the hook, it will take 4.9 days for it to cure. And then we will have, at that point, then we'll have our regular sausage there that we can eat off of. So, pretty neat. All right, I like the abilities of expanded foods. There's a lot more that we need to get into. For example, if we go to the liquid side of things, or the juicing side of things, we can see we can make the bone broth, which that's in a saucepan. So we'll work on that on the next one. I think I'm going to keep working on some of the expanded food stuff, and I'll show it every once in a while. But as far as going through a lot of it, unless we're going to be doing something really cool, I'll just kind of be doing it and just kind of talk to you about it, okay? All right, folks. Hey, thanks for spending this time with me. This is Shino, and we'll see you next time. Take care.